Hi everyone, welcome back with Decoeasy. My name is Janny and I'm doing this home decor channel together with Dyanne, and I hope you are ready for our daily DIY. You see what we will need for the next DIYs, because we are going to make two DIYs in one. We need some old pieces of wood, and of course I have several of them. And you see here I still have some nails in it. I don't know why the nails are in there. I have really no idea, but we need some wood. So go ahead and look for your in your stash. Of course, I printed out some hat and some gloves. Of course, we only need the silhouette around it, so we don't need the hat. So it doesn't matter what you print out, just we need only the silhouette. So this is a little bit of the main things we will need for this DIY. What I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to get my scissors and I'm going to cut out the lines around our head and our gloves, so I can draw it over on my piece of wood. So you see already I have one piece of my wood and I am trying to get the greatest way to get my gloves and my head out of it. So of course, but I totally forgot, we need of course two of this one, so this will never fit in one in one piece, so I have to do the head from another piece, because I need two gloves and not. So I'm going to lay it on top of here and I'm going to make a line with my black text marker. Of course you can see it upside down right now, but of course you know a little bit what a black marker is. So I'm going to draw out the lines for our gloves, and of course I do also one over here, and I do the head on another piece, and then we are going to take you outside, and then I'm going to uh, get my jigsaw and I'm going to saw it out for you. And here you see the finished result of our jigsawing. You see already my little head and of course the two gloves we just saw out. What I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to give them a base coat with the white chalk paint. But of course, if you like another color a little bit better, just do whatever you think is right. I am doing the white chalk paint. And I always do just first a little simple base from the white, because I think it works a little bit better if you already give it one undercoat for what you're going to do later. Even if you're going to mud podge it, it's always nice to have a nice underground, because this wood, MDF wood, is always sucking in a lot of paint or mud podge or something else, and or water is just what you want to do on top of it. So most of the time I give it a base coat from white chalk paint or with some mud podge. So I will finish all three of them, and then we're going to go further in the next step. And you see already here I painted all of them in the white color, and I'm going to let it dry for a moment right now. And I'm going to look for something furry to use for our gloves and for our little head. So everything is dried up, and what I'm going to do, I'm taking a piece of fur. I have a lot of these rolls in my stash, so I have this one already for such a long time. What I'm going to do is, just because I want to, on the end of my little gloves, I want to have a little piece of the fur. So I'm going to measure out and I'm just going to glue it before I'm going to cut it. So I'm just going to make a line where I do want to have my fur, and of course I will do a little bit of glue over here and just glue it as long as you want it to be. And I'm just going to lay down my fur on top of it, so this way, and I'm just going to squeeze it a little bit until it is dry. And you see already now you have it on the back side, and I'm just going to cut it out, but I am also gluing the sides because I want to have it a little piece over. I want the sides always also with a little bit of the fur. So I'm just going to glue a little piece over here, And I'm just going to bend it over and also hold it for a moment. Then we are going to do this side also. And again, just fold it over until here and just wait a second. And then you can cut it off. You see? And now you can glue it together, and of course just cut off a little bit on the underside, because or else you also have to get this one glued together. So here you see already how one is looking like. I'm going to do the second, and I'm going to do the head. I'm going to do an underpiece, and of course I'm going to do the top of our head also with a little bit of fur. I will do this out of camera because I think you already know how to glue a little bit of fur on here, and or else it will be very boring for you. And here you see already the result with the fur on top of it, and I did it like I said on the underside and a little bit of course on top and on the underside of our gloves. And of course I'm going to take you now along to my computer, and then we are going to make our own unique print. If you want to use the print also, you find it in our free printables. So if you want to make it also, go ahead and go check out and go take your and take your own print. So come along. And here you see already the print we just made, and of course I will cut it out, and then we are going to Mod Podge it on our head and on our gloves. And here you see our prints, how they are when they're cut out. So I'm going to Mod Podge on top of here. So I'm going to do the head together with you, and well, the rest I will do out of camera because I think you already know how to Mod Podge. So you see, of course, I am just using the normal Mod Podge, but you also can use school glue, just whatever you think is right. But I am always using the Mod Podge, at least the Mod Podge brand. I don't know which brands there are more, but here in the Netherlands it's not very common, the Mod Podge, so I always use this brand. What I'm going to do, I'm squeeze it a little bit under our head. So, and of course I have to get it a little bit even. So I hope I have it in the middle. Of course you can do also a second coat of the Mod Podge on top of it if you want to have it a little bit more shiny, but I like it a little bit more of the matte finish, and I'm squeezing my fur a little bit over it. So, and a little bit over here, so he blends a little bit more in. And of course, later on, I will distress my head a little bit with my furniture wax, because I am loving a little bit more of the rustic feeling. But I let this dry for now, and I'm going to do the gloves right now, and then I show you the result. So you see already everything is Mod Podge on top of it, and I did have to do a second coat because I was a little bit out of the line, so I had to do the second coat. So he is a little bit more shiny than I normally do, but for now we are going to distress it. Like I said, we're going to take some furniture wax, and of course you can stain it with everything you like. You can do it with gray, you can do it with black, everything you like. I'm doing it with the brown color because I want to make it a little bit of the rustic feeling. So I'm just doing it, I will show you a little bit. I'm just doing a little bit out of my jar, just on top of a little piece of the kitchen towel, and dab it off, and I'm just going to a little bit around the sides to give it a little bit more of an old look. I hope you can see it on camera, but of course you have to be a little bit careful around the corners where is your fur. So just do it a little bit, but you don't have to do as much as I do. You can do a less or a little bit more, just whatever you think is right. And later on I'm going to do also with a little bit of the black to give it a little bit more of the rustic feeling. So will do the head and the rest of the gloves, and then finally we are going to do some ribbon on top of it, and then you see the finished result. And here you see my small little shelf on my wall, and under it you see my black ladder. And here they are, my hat, my wooden hat. I am so happy how he turned out. And I have some beaded garlands on my ladder, some ivy. And you see here our little hand shoes, and I am so happy how they turned out. I did a little bow on top of them, and I am really happy and so easy to make. So I hope you just got a little inspiration from it. Take the free printable if you are making one of your own, but I am very happy how it turned out. So this was it already for today's daily DIY. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you like this content, we hope of course you will consider subscribing to Dyanne and my channel. And for now, we wish you all a beautiful, beautiful day.